Hello everyone, in this video let's discuss how to solve the DFA minimization problem easily. So if you see the diagram is given, that is DFA diagram. So what is our goal is to, if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 states are there. So we should decrease the number of states. So if we decrease it to 4 also, we will be successful in minimizing the DFA. So the first step is to write the transition table. So transition table. So the transition table will be represented using do, and my input string to move from one state to another state. So I have used 0 and 1. So 0 and 1. So what are my states? A, B, C, D and E. Why I wrote E at the last? Because E is enclosed with two circles, which it represents it is a final state. So just mark star because it is a final state, and A is the initial state or the starting state, which will be represented using the arrow mark. Now just find the transitions. For A, if you give 0 as an input, it will move to B. If you give 1 as an input, it will move to C. For B, if you give 0 as an input, it will be self loop, that is it will move to 0 itself. If you give 1 as an input, it will move to D. For C, if you give 0 as input, it will move to B. If you give 1 as the input, sorry, in the question I forgot to write here, this is of the self loop. So for 1 it is moving to C itself, self loop. D, if you see, for 0 it is moving to B, for 1 it is moving to E. If you see E, for 1 it is moving to C, and for 0 it is moving to B. Now we are completed with the first step, that is to write the transition table. Now let's move to second step. The second step is to find the equivalence. So how to find the equivalence? First will be of the zeroth equivalence, zero equivalence. So how you will write the zero equivalence means, you will be making group of two. So one will be the non-final states and another one will be the final state. If you see in the given problem, we are having only one final state, that is E. So this will be of the separate group, and all other non-final state A, B, C, D will be of another group, A, B, C and D. Now let's move to the one equivalence. So in the one equivalence, C, A, B, C, D and their transition. So A, if you give 0, it is moving to B. If you give 1, it is moving to C. So for both 0 and 1, it is moving to the same group. So all other elements in this group must be moving to the same group itself, or else they will be separated. Now B, for 0 it is moving to B, which is in this group only. For 1 it is moving to D, which is in this group only. Next C, for 0 it is moving to B, which is in this group, and for 1 it is moving to C, which is in this group. D, if you see, for 0 it is moving to B, which is in this group only, and for E and for 1 it is moving to E, which is in the separate group. So you can tell D is a separate state. So A, B, C will be same. So A, B, C will be in the same group and D will be detached from the group. And now let's see whether D and E will be in the same group or not. So because E is of the separate group now, whether they are of the same group. So if you see D, for 0 it is moving to B and for 1 it is moving to E. So for 0 this group, for 1 it is moving to that group. If E is also moving for 0 this group and 1 this group, means it will be in the same group. D and E will be in the same group, or else not. For E, 0 it is moving for B, 0 it is moving to B, so super. But for for 1, E is moving to C. Again for 1 also it is moving to this group only. So you can say that D and E are not of the same group, they are separated. Now let's move on to the second equivalence. Second equivalence. C for A, B, C. A, for 0 it is moving to B and for 1 it is moving to C. For 0 it is moving to B, and for 1 it is moving to C. So therefore you can say for 0 also, for 1 also, it is moving in this group only. If B and C are moving to this group only, then it is perfect, or else we will be moving to the another state. B, if you see, for 0 it is moving to B, and for 1 it is moving to D. So you can say that B is of the separate group. So A will be separate, B will be separate, D is of the separate group, and E is of the separate group. Let's check for C. C, if you see, for 0 it is moving to B, and for 1 it is moving to C. For the same group like the A. For the same group like A only. So you can say A and C are of same group. Now let's check whether B will come to D group or E group. If you see B and D, B for 0 it will move to B, and for 1 it will move to D. For 0 it will move to this group, and for 1 it will move to this group. D for 0 it will go to B, so it is perfect, and D for 1 it will be going to this. So it is moving to different state for 1. So different state. You can say B and D are of different. Again you can check for D and E also. Again you can check for B and E also. B for 0 it is moving to here, and for 1 it is moving to here. Check for E. E for 0 it is moving to B, it is perfect, and E for 1 it is moving to C. Again for 0 and 1 also, E is moving to this group only, but B had moved for D when it was 1. So you can say that B and D are also of the different groups. Now let's move to the next equivalence, that is 3 equivalence. So A and C are of the same group. Let's check. A for 0 it is moving to B, that is it is moving to this group, and for 1 it is in this group only. Now let's check for C. So C for 0 it is moving to B, and for 1 it is moving to C. So both are in the correct order. That is for 0 they are moving to B, and for 1 they are moving to C. So you can say that A and C will be same, and all other separate state will be same because there is no change occurred. So now you can say that since third equivalence and second equivalence were same, that is this step is same as the previous step, so you will be stopping the process here. Now you got 1 state, 2 state, 3 state and 4 state. Initially it was 5 state. Now you found A and C were combined, therefore 4 states were occurred. So what are my 4 state? A comma C will be of 1 state, next B will be the second state, D will be the third state, and E will be the fourth state. Using these 4, draw the DFA diagram. So A will be considered as the initial state because A was the initial state, and E was the final state, it will be the final state itself. Now draw. A for 0 it is moving to B. A for 1 it is moving to C. Next C, if you see, for 0 it is moving to B, and for 1 it is moving to C. So A and C are of the same state, they have combined. Now B, if you see, for 0 it is moving to B, that is self loop. For 1 it is moving to D. Next D, for 0 it is moving to B. Next for 1 it is moving to E. E for 0 it is moving to B. E for 1 it is moving to C. So you can write like this. Now we are completed with the third step also, that is DFA diagram, minimized DFA diagram. So in the fourth step you can draw them using a tabular form. So I will show that. What will be my tabular format means, what are the states I have used here? A, B, C, D and E. 5 states were now. So what you must do is, first in the vertical line, what you must do means, you will be leaving the initial state. That is, you will be leaving A. Write B, C, D, E. Next in horizontal line, you will be leaving the final state. And write all of them. A, B, C, D. E was the final state, I left here. In the vertical, I left the initial state. Now draw the table. So it will be like this. Like this you must draw. Now, which are combined? A state and C state are combined. A and C. Put the tick mark and all others will be wrong mark because we have combined A and C state. You can put the tick mark or you can leave the space as it is like this. You can leave it and cross mark for all other, or you can put the tick mark. And the final step, you can write the DFA diagram now. How you will write it in the standardized format? M will be equal to Q comma dou comma Q comma summation comma dou comma Q0 comma F. So capital letter Q means what are the state used in my DFA diagram. So A and C will be of the one state, next B, next D and E. Next summation means what are my input strings I have used? I have used 0 and 1. Next, dou means DFA transition table you have wrote in the second step itself. Now Q0 means initial state. Which is the initial state? AC. Next, F means final state. What is the final state? Capital letter E. So this is the end of the problem. So hope you understood how to minimize the DFA. If you have any doubt, please comment below. I will clarify it. If you liked the video, please subscribe and support us. Thank you.